Hello everyone, and welcome to round 1 of the St. Louis VGC Draft League. Today we have Sky and the Steely Spirits versus Lawso and the Alolan Bobsled team. Let me just fix the overlay real quick. They're on the opposite sides from where I thought they would be. There we go. So we can see that Sky has their Mega Aggron, their Sinistcha, their Kleavor, Tauros, Paldean-Tauros, Aqua form, Hisuian Typhlosion, and I believe that is Mega, yes, that's Mega Clefable. Lawso, on the other hand, is bringing Mega Venusaur, Talonflame, Blastoise, Metagross, Lycanrock, Dusk, and Typhlosion. So, interesting here. Not bringing the fur giraffe, not wanting to bring a potential trick room mode, but having potential very fast water spouts or eruptions. Of course, eruption is a completely valid move from Sky's side as well. We have Typhlosion versus Typhlosion action. We do have the wall on Sky's side, so Lawso will need to have plenty of special damage to account for that. But let's see how these two trainers prepared for each other. So we see Talonflame and Blastoise threatening a Tailwind Water Spout. And we see Paldean-Tauros going for Intimidate and Aggron. So that we know this Aggron is holding a Mega Stone. But we'll see if he chooses to Mega Evolve just to try to survive a potential water spout here. So, Paldean-Tauros does have Aqua Jet as an option to try to break Gale Wings. Could be Choice Scarf. Unknown at this time. Talonflame is probably faster even if they were in the same priority bracket though. So we see the Mega Evolution immediately, not going for anything cheeky with Sturdy and potential damage reflection strategies. Here comes a Mega Aggron, an immediate Air Slash, teched, ready to not worry about an Intimidate that came out. Here's the Raging Bull in response. Just straight Okos the Talonflame, not a Focus Sash variant, but Blastoise unmolested so far, goes for Aura Sphere, but with Filter, that is a very specially bulky Mega Aggron, surviving that with no issues and getting a paralysis off on Blastoise. Mega Aggron's not fast, but it should be faster than a half-speed Blastoise. But here comes the Mega on Lawso's side. We see a Mega Venusaur, not yet Mega'd, of course. And you have to wonder, are we just going to see a Sleep Powder come out? This Mega Venusaur is not afraid at all of what Tauros can do, and Mega Aggron probably isn't that much heavier for a heavy slam. Here comes the Mega Evolution coming out, showing off what this Venusaur is capable of. Now swapping to a thick compatibility over Chlorophyll or Overgrow. There's a high horsepower, and again, just like the Aura Sphere, that non-stab attack, just not doing over much. We see a Leech Seed come out from Mega Venusaur saying, hey, I can just whittle you down. An Aura Sphere comes out, taking out the Tauros, making it an even split, and we see more support moves coming out from Mega Aggron. Another Thunder Wave, just slowing down the Venusaur. However, Venusaur doesn't really mind this position. This is one way to deal with the wall. If you don't think it can deal that much damage, you can just out-sustain it with Leech Seed. A potential Giga Drain, Leech Seeding the other slot if Sinistcha didn't come. we'll see what does Sky have in their sleeve, and it is the Sinistcha, just helping the Mega Aggron, the wall, stay up, stay healthy, and it can't be powdered, it can't be seeded. It is a great check to a lot of the tricks that Venusaurs like to throw out. So we'll see what it can do, and what Venusaur has in prep, and what Venusaur has in store for this Pokemon. This Sinistcha was the first Pokemon Sky drafted. They knew they wanted this powerful redirector, this powerful Machagacha bot, this powerful support team. A dodge on the Machagacha, but it was Venusaur that dodged it. This Blastoise takes a good amount of damage, over half, and it retaliates with an Ice Beam. That slow speed on Blastoise, because of the paralysis, means there's no way it outspeeds. So no Machagacha healing. Blastoise does stay up for one more turn, and a Sludge Bomb plus the Ice Beam isn't quite enough to KO. No poison going out, chipping it down even further. And suddenly this Sinistcha is looking really low on health. Same with the Blastoise. This has been a fairly mirrored match so far, with the Talonflame falling turn 1, the Tauros falling turn 2, and now we have 2 statused Megas, if you count Leech Seed as a status, and 2 very weak supporting Pokemon on either side of the field. Both trainers do have one Pokemon in the back they have not yet revealed, so we'll see how they decide to play this. I'm curious what this Blastoise is holding. We've seen Aura Sphere, we've seen Ice Beam, but we don't know what else it's hiding. So there's a Life Dew coming out, just trying to support this Sinistcha a little bit. I don't know if it'll survive another hit, and there's that Ice Beam that will take out the Sinistcha, doing just about half on the first Ice Beam. But again, Mega Aggron is supported. There's another Body Press, that 200 base defense, maybe a little higher from Mega Aggron, doing massive damage with a Body Press. And Venusaur just doesn't get to act in any way whatsoever. That could be impactful. That could have been a Sleep Powder that would have just locked down Mega Aggron. But we'll see both trainers going down to their final Pokemon and trying to see what they have in store. We see Hisuian Typhlosion and Hisuian Typhlosion both coming out. So Choice Scarf Typhlosion from Lawso, very common Eruption. We don't know what item the Hisuian Typhlosion is holding. However, base Typhlosion does have a speed advantage, so if they're both Choice Scarf, I would expect Lawso's to go first. And because Hisuian Typhlosion does not have Flash Fire, it will be taking damage from a potential Eruption. We see the Protect coming out from Aggron. That's knowledge we didn't have before. Here comes an Eruption. It is going to do good damage into this Hisuian Typhlosion, even resisted. But surely, here comes a Shadow Ball, just trying to weaken that Eruption in future turns. Doing over half to the Typhlosion. I don't think that special defense drop is going to matter, but here comes an Earth Power, and that is going to finish off the Hisuian Typhlosion. I think that is going to put a wrap on this for Sky, with just Mega Aggron left on their side of the field. Leech Seeded, and even a half power Eruption with Filter, I just don't see it being able to sustain through what this 2v1. Here comes the half power Eruption. Single target though, does about half to this Mega Pokemon here. Mega Aggron slamming into Typhlosion, making this a 1-0 victory. But here comes the Earth Power. Surely that finishes off the Mega Aggron, and it does. Lawso taking this game and going up 1-0. So let me just update this. Congratulations to Lawso on that Game 1 victory. And we will see them, both Sky and Lawso, in the next match. We'll just let them reconvene and respectate. So looking at adjustments going forward, that Leech Seed stall set looks to be hard made to counter any sort of Iron Defense body press shenanigans with the Poison type resisting Fighting type moves and the Leech Seed to just recover the Venusaur's health while draining the health from Sky's Mega Aggron, especially with Earth Power. I really think you might want to think about what you want to do going forward. You could go for a potential early lead with the Hisuian Typhlosion, but it's tough because the Talonflame can just come out and threaten a Tailwind at any moment. There's not any exceptionally fast or slow Pokemon on Lawso's roster of 10. I believe Raichu is the fastest Pokemon he has access to. But with one of the very few Prankster Tailwind Pokemon available currently in Pokemon Champions, Lawso can turn speed dynamics on their head. So we'll see how Sky adjusted. They don't want to go out 2-0 here, but Lawso's not going to make that easy for them. So we see Talonflame and Metagross coming out this time. A different fan favorite Pokemon coming out as opposed to the Blastoise. But this is a great counter into the Intimidate from Sky's Tauros. Clear body on the Metagross being completely unaffected by the Intimidate. And now you have a Psychic type Pokemon out against this Fighting type. We know that Talonflame at least is somewhat specially invested. That Air Slash, not caring at all about the Intimidate from this Paldean-Tauros. So we'll see how this activates. So we see the immediate Mega Evolution from the Aggron, making complete and perfect sense, getting the massive stat buff, and Tauros not wanting to deal with what it did last time goes immediately for Protect. But Talonflame reading into that, going for a Tailwind, and a Psychic Fangs into the Tauros, trying to deal with it. But here comes a Body Press straight into the Metagross, doing decent chip damage. Metagross is a pretty bulky Pokemon and does take that okay. But now we need to see what's coming next. So both Pokemon on Lawso's side of the field are probably faster than the Tauros. The Talonflame definitely was. But we know this Tauros will live this. Will it flinch? Or will it just be doubled up into? It is just doubled up into. We see the Payapa Berry. It could have survived last round. Unfortunately, the double up is just a bit too much. That Payapa Berry isn't saving the Tauros when it's on 6%. But we do learn the Metagross does hold a Life Orb. That is going to wear it down a little bit. Another Body Press comes in, chipping down that Metagross. A couple more Life Orb hits or just one more little bit of chip damage will take it out. But this Talonflame has been completely untouched so far. Gale Wings is still in fact. There is no Brave Bird shown so far, at least, to break the Gale Wings. And here comes the Kleavor. A good answer into a Talonflame. That rock typing and the ability to set up stealth rocks is very powerful, but like we've seen, Tailwind is up, and it is very likely that Lawso's Pokemon both outspeed Sky's Pokemon. So we'll see what tricks this Hisuian Pokemon has up their sleeves. Here comes the Air Slash. Will we see a flinch? No, just a Bullet Punch, not risking a Choice Scarf, immediately taking out in a 1-2 punch this Kleavor. Metagross takes a little bit more chip damage, and this Body Press will finish it off. But we'll see what Sky's last Pokemon is to turn this game around in their favor. Meanwhile, we'll see Lawso's third Pokemon. Will we see the return of the Mega Venusaur? It seemed to do him very well in the previous match. So here comes Grocery, which is the Sinistcha. doesn't get any value from Hospitality, unfortunately, due to the Mega Aggron not being touched. Both players are choosing their actions. Another Air Slash coming out, doing good damage to this Sinistcha. And Eruption comes out full power. We see the Aqua Berry on the Sinistcha, but at under half HP, that's not going to help it very much. And even with Filter, that will allow the Mega Aggron to survive, but at 25% HP, it's in dire straits. This Body Press will take Typhlosion down to under half HP, but we saw last game that Eruption would do far more damage while at just under half health to this Mega Aggron. The Tailwind is faded, but Mega Aggron is probably the slowest Pokemon on either team. Lawso just going for a Tailwind and just letting this Typhlosion get this last kill, and that will do it here, folks. Lawso wins. The Alolan Bobsled team up 2 wins to 0 in this game, and that takes our records for the season up with the Alolan Bobsled team getting their first win and Sky, unfortunately, getting their first loss. I'd like to congratulate both of our players on this match and wish them well in the future. As always, this channel will be hosting more battles from this league. We have 24 teams split into 2 divisions, and a lot of interesting drafts and a lot of interesting choices going forward. But that's it for this match, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye!